15-minute jog, and I'm feeling pretty sweaty. I'm just gonna walk it off. So I realize, well, okay, before I get ahead of myself, as always, if you guys see my walk and talk streams, I hope that you guys are also walking around, exercising. Don't just, we're doing something. Don't just listen to my stream and do jack shit, okay? Like, the reason why I have to do all this stuff and I feel like I lost a lot of time is because I didn't really I just sat down on my ass for hours in front of a computer. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But if you can't have a balance, then it kind of gets out of control. So I figured, because I have a history of doing these long streams, I might as well walk, right? Because at the end of the day, I can say, well, I streamed for an hour, but I also burned calories for an hour. So so if I sound a little out of breath, it's because I just thought, hey, just walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. So, hi, Shine Group. I hope the weather in Indonesia is good. Right now in New York, it's kind of gloomy, but it's kind of cool too. It used to be cooler before I ran. Before I jogged, and now I just feel like, give me like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, I'll be better. It's funny how much sweat can accumulate in like 15 minutes just jogging. So I was yesterday, got home, I did some volunteering. I was really happy about that, and I found out a really handy trick and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you are around a group of people like volunteering and you don't want to deal with them, but you know what you got to do, like it's pretty monotonous, like if you're passing something out, what I would recommend is keep headphones on, but keep it in one ear. And the reason being is that you can hear from the other ear, but you can listen to your music on the other side. So I told you about, like, if you've been following my streams for a while, right? There's this one woman, oh my gosh, she's like a control freak. She's like one of those people, she comes off as very combative, and it's like she wants people to do a certain way. So I keep my distance from her because I think to myself, look, I don't want to deal with that drama. She's nobody to me, and I don't want to have a confrontation or anything like that. So this woman is like, she will yell at people, like that's her only go-to thing. Yeah, it's weird. And I could say all sorts of things, but I basically told her, I said, you don't know how to talk to people, because if you knew how to speak to people, you wouldn't have to yell at them. Like, it's just like, you do something wrong, right? Let's say I put something over here and I could, people will be like, oh, don't put it there, but you're like, don't put it there, kind of thing. It's just like, holy crap. Like, I don't get paid to deal with that stuff, right? So I kept an earphone in my ear, and I had, I was just doing my thing, bopping out to music, I guess, and having a conversation with another person. And when that conversation ended, then I could hear things around me, right? But it's kind of like half drawn out because I'm listening to some pop music. I have a thing for pop music, in case you guys didn't know. So I hear this woman, and she's going at it with another woman. And if you guys remember my stream, this is the woman who just is like, she tries to be like very like, she's in control, like, I've been volunteering here, this is my second time volunteering here, that woman, if you guys remember. And I was just, so yeah, the woman who yells was yelling at the other woman, and it's like two personalities, right? And I heard them kind of, talking to each other, shouting at each other, yelling at each other, right? And I took off my earphone because I had to listen in. So I just thought to myself, yep, good thing I had this music in. But hey, when I want to listen to some words, and I'll take the earphone out so I can hear it fully, But other than that, I'm gonna keep my music in because I need to center and ground myself, right? I volunteer not because I get paid, not because I want to show off how cool I am or anything like that. I volunteer because I want to make a difference in the world. And, it's good. It's good to give back. I feel that, just being in this world, having people in my life, being okay, having my health, having, things around me, I'm very fortunate. So I think that if you're able-bodied and you have some time, why not give back to the community? Why not volunteer your time and do something good? I don't think that is beneath me at all. Now, some people, they think that, volunteering is a waste of time, but I think the world is a give and take, right? And I think that by living in a first world country, we are incredibly privileged and blessed because imagine if we weren't, living like, I'm obviously in New York right now, but imagine that, you didn't live in a first world country and you lived in a place where you don't have any social services, there's no WIC, there's no food stamps. And yeah, so it always makes me a little sad when some people, they just kind of think like, oh yeah, I don't want to volunteer, I don't have any impact on that kind of stuff. And I hadn't volunteered in about a month. Reason being is that one week I think I got distracted by streaming. The second week, that's when my uncle passed away, and then after that I went back to Hawaii. And then the other week after I came back, I just didn't, I just wasn't in the mood to. So finally, I finally volunteered, and it felt really good. It felt really good to, help out and things like that. And yeah, I have my little earbud thing going on now. So yeah, I have it wired. I used to be all into the wireless thing. But someone pointed out to me, they said, you gotta watch out because you don't know if you're gonna get radiation going to your head because of the wireless stuff, right? And I got to thinking about it. I was like, maybe my grandma, right? My grandma, my mom's mom, she actually passed away from a brain tumor, and I know she was on her cell phone often. Now, I'm not going to say that the cell phone caused her brain tumor, but I will say that it makes me a little wary. So although I do still use a headset here and there, I rather use like wired headphones, wired earplugs, not because I can't afford to get wireless, but because I don't want to have that radiation going into my head. It's just, two sides of the family ending up with cancer. It's a little too scary for me. So I like to reduce my chances. And my earbuds broke yesterday, so I gotta go buy new earbuds. I was like, how come the sound isn't coming out? I was like, damn it, these crappy wired earbuds. So I gotta toss them. But yeah, I hope that tip works for you. If you have something that you don't want to do, but you need to be kind of aware about your surroundings, get wired earbuds. I would say wired earbuds because it's very obvious that you're listening to something. Like if you don't want to interact with people, get wired earbuds, because that way people will be like, oh, they're listening to a podcast. Let me not, engage with them really. And just have one, because if you have two, right, that could be considered disrespectful. But if you have one, it's still like you can hear stuff around you. If someone wants to talk to you, you can still hear them. They can still get your attention. So that's a really good way of filtering out possible crap around you. But not only crap, like if you need to distract yourself a little just to get outside, listening to music kind of helps. That's just my thought. Clinton is like 12, I think. I think he's like 12 or 13, I can't remember. Somewhere around there. So, yeah, I think he's 13. 12 or 13, one of them. So, yeah, so that's one thing. And yeah, I feel like just exercising, it makes me feel a little better, because even though I still have kind of some insecurities, they're a lot less because I can't really, like I said, I can't really criticize myself too much if I'm actually trying to put the work in. Yeah. Oh, and talking about putting the work in. So I found out Lewis's dad has a personal trainer now, and I'm really happy for him. So listen to this. So, of course, Lewis went to see his dad, and his dad, has some weight he has to lose. So Lewis offered to him, he said, hey, you know what? I'll pay for your gym membership. I'll pay for your personal training. And, that way it's not an excuse. And his dad was so happy to have that, opportunity for free gym plus personal training, I think 3 or 4 times a week. He told Lewis, he said, oh, in 1 year I'll get a better body than Erica. And, he's been going to the gym, he's been working out. And, I was like, damn, I wonder how far he's going to get, because, when you have a personal trainer, they can guide you, right? They can tell you, okay, this is what you need to eat. This is what you need to work on. Oh, okay, so you've been eating this and this. Yeah, cut that out and start taking protein powder, start taking supplements. And that, in my opinion, will make a huge difference for results, because when you have a person who is a professional, or even if you don't want to say they're professional, let's say you just want to say they're a sham person who just, whatever, they claim they're a personal trainer. These people have more insight, in my opinion, about the human body than the average person. So I expect there to be results, and he's really happy about it. And so he says that he thinks he's going to have a better body than me in a year. And I just kind of think, maybe, but I'm going to keep working at it. So as you guys know, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying my best, but I got to immerse myself into learning more about nutrition and the body and how to what exactly to do, because I don't know that knowledge, right? But I was talking to Lewis yesterday, and I said, one of my things that I can be is I can be super neurotic about stuff if I really focus on it. And I want to now I know people would say this sounds crazy, Erica, but I actually want to get a little bit more neurotic about physical fitness and diet and understanding things, because at the end of the day, right, a personal trainer for me is way too expensive. If I go and get a personal trainer, it would be about $100. And I know people would say, Erica, if you care about yourself, just pay $100. I'm not willing to pay $100 for the rest of my life, an hour. $400, $500 a week, that's a little insane. And I think, it's not that I don't love myself, but I don't want to get a personal trainer. I'm just very cognizant about the cost. Some people don't even make $500 a week, right? $400 to $500 a week. So, that's why I rather just do it myself. I feel like it'll be more sustainable, and maybe I won't get the results that I want instantaneously, but I think it's not a bad thing to have background knowledge, right? To learn more about things, because all personal trainers, when they started, they know jack shit. And I know personal trainers are going to take offense to them and be like, I knew what I was talking about. No, that's not the case. Every person who got into a field knew jack shit when they started, or they knew a little, but what the difference was is that they immersed themselves, right? They had to put the work in. And I realized that unless I put in that work in myself, not only just the exercise, but also the knowledge, I'm not going to see results. And I don't want to depend on having a personal trainer to be there for the rest of my life, because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that I could spend otherwise. And again, it's not because I don't think I'm worth it. It's that I have to be very realistic about the cost. So, yeah. See that stuff? So, Leonardo says all you need to do is 100 sit-ups, 100 crunches, and 100 push-ups, plus 10 kilometers of running every day. Yeah, so because we have right now 16 people listening to this stream, if you guys can give me any advice or any direction on where I can go to, I would really appreciate it, because again, I don't know. Like, I have, like, you see these people on YouTube and they tell you, like, do this workout and do this workout. And it's a whole series of workouts. But it's just like, a one-time 15-minute thing. And it's going to be hard for me to gauge progress like that. You see, unless I keep doing the same 15-minute routine over and over and I just add more sets. See where I'm getting at? So, yeah, I can be very open about my weakness because I feel comfortable talking about it. I feel comfortable saying I don't know everything. And I think a lot of people, they don't, maybe they want to work out, maybe they want to have a really good body, but they too don't know what exactly to do, and they're not willing to spend money for an expensive trainer because they see, like, hey, if I want to work out for the rest of my life, I don't want to be hemorrhaging out $400 for a week. Because that's a lot of weeks of life, right? I want to live until I'm like 90 years old, ideally. So I have to think, like, man, if I'm spending all that money on a personal trainer, like, yeah, I would have a great body, but it would come at a financial cost. And that cost is just, yeah. So I do know that some people, and like I said, I'm not going to knock personal trainers because it is a profession. But I do know personal trainers, they make their money by the sessions, right? So if they have like hourly, right, they want people to continue working out with them because it's money, right? Let's see. Motivate you. Yeah, I think, when you have a personal trainer, the thing is that it's tailored. So they can say, hey, you need to work on this, or you need to work on that, and you need to work on this. But I know I'm going to lose some time by trying to do it my way. And I know people are going to laugh at me for saying, like, oh, I want to learn how to train my own body, and I'm going to struggle and I'm going to fail. But again, people need to get it out of their head that personal trainers are gods, okay? They have to learn something, right? You all had to learn something. You went to school. Did you learn multiplication because you were a god? No, you learned it because you immersed yourself and you tried and you worked at it and you studied at it, and finally you understood 2 times 2 is 4. 12 times 12 is 144. So, yeah, so I gotta go and try and do that because I think to myself, I wanna actually be able to get results, and I don't want to just like struggle. So yeah, my movement forward is going to be hindered because I don't know a lot of things, and in my opinion, that's okay. I'll take 1 year of struggling. I'll take 2 years of struggling. And then that way, hopefully, I'm set up, more and more and more. I'm not going to be one of those people who say, oh, a personal trainer knows everything and I know jack shit, because I'm not a personal trainer. Again, personal trainers receive education, They study this stuff. You got personal trainers who are like 18 years old. See? Oh, so funny. Let's see. Nah. Just to copy his routine. No, I do work out with Lewis. But the kind of body that I want is, I want a really nice body. I want a body where I look at my stomach and I see abs here, because it's always been an insecurity of mine. It's like, my stomach is flat, okay? Like, my stomach is flat, but it's not where I want it to be, and I want better for myself, and that's it. I don't want to rely on a person to to train me for the rest of my life, kind of thing, and then feel like, hey, if I lose my trainer, then I know jack shit. I'm gonna plateau. I'm not gonna get the results I want. So that's why I rather just make the bumpy road into investing into myself and learn certain things. Yeah. Sit-ups. Yeah, I tried sit-ups. I actually tried sit-ups and crunches. Holy crap, you guys! Like, the next day, yesterday, I had to like get out of bed. I was like, ow, it hurts so bad. So I'm trying all these random things, and again, I want to improve because I look back at my life and I really wasted my 20s. And I wasted, my early 30s because I'm 33 right now, right? And I want better for myself. I can't turn back time, but I'm feeling pretty confident. And I know people, there are going to be haters out there who's like, Erica, you'll never get your goal, you know? But I want to do it for myself. I want to look back at my life when I'm like 50 or 60 years old and say, you know what? I tried to turn my life around. I put a really good effort into it. I learned a bunch of stuff. Maybe I learned the wrong knowledge. Maybe I didn't get the body I wanted by the time I was 36, but I tried. You know, I really tried to improve myself. And life is all about, failures and successes, right? I know I'm gonna fail. I know I'm gonna have failures. I know I might actually be under eating or overeating or not have my nutrition down. I totally accept that. And I gotta research it because, yeah, although I don't want a calorie count and things like that, I feel like I do need to be more mindful about my protein and start weighing stuff out. Like how much protein am I eating? What is the best nutrition for me? Start getting a little neurotic about that. But like I said, my end goal is I want to look back when I'm an older woman. I hope an older woman. And I hope that when I'm older, I can say I worked through a lot of my insecurities. I got a pretty damn good body, or I got a great body. And I worked through it, and I tried to encourage other people to work through their insecurities as well. Because I think of insecurities like a prison, and I did a community post about it, right? I think of it like you go into a dark room, you see? So if you go into a dark room, the first thing you do is you get scared, right? You're like, oh shit, it's a dark room. You have like a little bit of fear in you, and that's your insecurity. The light bulb to banish the insecurity is actions directly confronting it. So, right, I'm insecure about my body. How do I feel better about it? I get out and I freaking exercise, I already jogged. So when you see me do these walks, this is after I jogged. So, it's like I know even if I do this stream, even if I'm tired, even if I'm sweaty when I return back, freaking I burn the calories from walking for, 30 minutes, an hour. And I don't do this just once a day. I do this twice a day. So I'm trying to get 2 hours of walking in for now. And maybe I'll cut back in the future. But I figure if I'm going to be streaming, I might as well freaking stream while I'm moving around than just sitting, not doing anything. And that's another thing, right? That's another thing too. It's like if you're moving around, you can't really criticize yourself too much because every freaking step is moving forward. See? When you walk this way. I don't know anybody who walks backwards. I mean, you could. Maybe if I want to. Actually, no. I'm probably gonna get hit by a ball or something. And I'm like, what the hell is this crazy chick? Over here. So let's see over here. Let's see. Leg weights. Yeah, I'll just watch chat. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah. But yeah, don't just watch these streams doing jack shit, you guys. Do something actively. If my stream's making you nauseous, freaking walk around and just read chat. I'm just doing this because I kind of think to myself, at least you can see while I'm doing this stuff, I'm actually moving around. So hopefully if you guys get tired of seeing my legs, you guys can, go out and look at your own legs. I mean, feel free, feel free having a pair of headphones on, walking around. And if you feel like you're missing any visuals, you're just missing out my freaking 2 legs over here. What about running up building stairs? I don't really have access to that many stairs. And then the stairs in the apartment are like these creaky ass wooden stairs. So it's like Indiana Jones kind of stairs. I don't want to be running up and down. No, they're really creaky. They really are creaky. It's like a 100-year-old building. But yeah. Athletics. Yeah, I've heard some people criticize Athletex. I haven't. I've heard about them, but I haven't. You know, I gotta be more with the open mind because that guy has a much better body than me by far. So maybe instead of thinking about the criticisms, I should actually think, like, yeah, I should check out that YouTube page. So yeah, thank you for that suggestion. I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna check it out later. See. So, yeah, here are my little stairs here. Look at this. I'm trying to change it up. So, you'll see a little bit of stair here and there, here and there. Yeah. I used to, when I was in Hawaii, I used to actually spend a lot of time walking around. And I told you guys that, right? Like, shopping really was my cardio. I used to walk around for hours. Because I like it, you know, I get to see a change of scenery. I get to go in and out of air conditioning. I rarely bought anything, but I like shopping because it's like, ooh, what's these pretty things? Ooh, let me pick that up. Oh, okay, let me put that down. And then at the end of the day, I get to see all the pretty stuff or all the useless stuff being sold, and I get a nice little workout. So, yeah, that was one thing. Like, I always thought of like shopping as my cardio. I mean, it's much better than just doing freaking hamster wheels, you know, looking at pavement. I mean, you see the greenery, but still. It's like I like having that kind of different stimulation. Yeah. So, let's see. Oh yeah, so Leonardo says they're gonna have a beer. Yeah, go enjoy your beer. Go enjoy your beer, but I hope if you have your beer, you're walking. Cause yeah, burn those calories, right? I don't know anybody who regretted going on a walk at all. I definitely don't regret going on a walk. I want to get one of those like freaking things where I don't have to hold it because my arm actually hurts from holding this phone like this. I think there's a mount that I can use, something like this. I don't know. See? So all my leggings are getting a use now. And I got to do more laundry because of my freaking leggings. And that's okay. You know, leggings are meant to be used. Yeah, so the other thing that I was thinking about besides that is that I was watching some music videos yesterday. Because I get into this whole, you know, I'm like a 90s kid, right? I mean, I was actually born in 88, but I'm actually like, you know, I grew up around 90s music. So I was listening to Backstreet Boys. Yeah. And you ever heard some of their songs like I'll Never Break Your Heart or All I Have to Give? And I was listening to it and I kind of laughed because I was thinking, man, you know, back then there used to be songs about basically, you know, loving women, valuing women, you know, being.
I like your hat.
Ah, thank you.
Is that the one that has the moisture, gives you the moisture, you put the water and the moisture keeps the. Is that one of those? Is that from the As Seen on TV?
No, I got.
Oh, that's not that one.
Yeah, I think it's from Amazon.
Oh, okay. So on Fulton and Nostrand, there's a Walgreens. Every time I go in there, I go down the aisle that has As Seen on TV. And that looks like the one that has. Have you seen the commercial? It's like.
You know what? I'm sure they have.
I don't
like
watch
something
TV
similar.
hardly, but I catch because I'm like, oh, if I see it, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
the infomercials.
Yeah.
So it's one like I don't know if you actually put water in it or it's from the from the perspiration. It takes that perspiration and absorbs it and keeps your head cool.
I guess.
I don't know exactly. Or if you put water in it yourself, I don't know yet. However, my point again, the Walgreens has an oil that sells the products from As Seen on TV. Yeah, so when I went in there, I got a couple like the copper fit thing, all those As Seen on TV.
Yeah.
So that one reminds me because they have one that's so long like that. And then when I go play 18, well, I don't know, that's kind of a little too big, but I like the fact that they had a bucket one a new one, and it's a bucket. So the bucket. Oh, and I do 18 with a bucket and it's scorching. I might do just one day scorcher. I don't like to golf anything over 85. You know, unless I'm out in Bethpage somewhere. because they got like 10 courses on the whole one plot. Bethpage, that's a nice one. And they have a course called the Black Course. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you play golf?
Not really.
Oh,
I'm gonna
dear.
be honest
Oh my
with you.
God!
No,
And
no,
you
no.
could be like, "Oh, I hate that guy. So boring."
No.
Like, oh, okay. So anyway, but yeah, and don't like to play in, the
Oh my
But
goodness. You have a
China
little kitchen.
too. That's China too.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
you didn't see her?
Oh my gosh, she's
What did
so
you think
adorable.
that was?
I know, I saw it. I thought it was a little keychain, and then I realized it was a little kitten.
This is her little toy, but
Oh, she's so cute.
you thought what was a keychain? A whole cat?
Yeah,
You was
I thought it was.
You are so silly.
No,
You are so,
I
what
saw
kind
it.
of keys on my hand? What am I gonna have that in her tail? You're funny. What's your name?
My name's Erica.
Erica, you superstar. You are a lady. You're a lady. It's been a long time. This is the only lady in my life now. It's been a long time. I've been divorced for like 20 years. Yeah, I lived in Antigua for like 2 years, and after the 2 years, I was like, no, I can't do this.
Well, you know what? Your happiness is most important, right?
No, because look, this is my little lady now.
Oh,
It's
she's
nothing
so
like a woman
cute.
in a man's life. A straight man. Okay. Yeah, it's a new world. Okay. I mean, straight all the way. Anyway, I'm being silly. But anywho.
She's so cute.
Isn't she though?
How old is she?
She's 7 weeks old.
Where did you, is
Oh,
she a
you
stray?
want to hear the story? See, I got telepathy, and I was like, when is she gonna ask? Where did she come from? Okay, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I do the back 9. Usually, it's just my back 9 at Dyker Beach. That's Bay Ridge. That's my backyard, Bay Ridge. Because I'm on Eastern Parkway in New York. So Bay Ridge, because they're the only course local. I do that, and Marine Park in Chelsea. Chelsea is like when I want to do the bourgeois cool. Oh, you already know Chelsea, right?
Yeah,
because they got a hitting range there, and that's so cool. The hitting, and then the putting green. I'm practicing.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta practice. I don't care what nobody says. As much as you play, you gotta practice.
Of course.
Or you look stupid going out with 4. Hey!
I'm late, but I came.
No! Here, sit. We were waiting for you. Hi. Tell me your name again.
My name's Erica. What is your name?
McLeod.
McLeod.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Ashante. Yeah. You got clubs?
No, I don't play.
You're gonna learn. I'll see you again, neighbor.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn. Oh, China, look, you met a new friend. Say hi.
Oh, so
look, she fits in my hand. And then when she swings on the toy, look at her little body she's swinging. Who was that?
Well, I will see you.
Hello.
Take care.
See you later.
Hi, China, look, you got a new friend.
Okay. Oh, you guys. Oh, man. You guys, so funny. Oh, man. Okay. You guys are so funny. Yeah, so this is my hat over here. So, yeah. I went to take off my hat to show. And yeah, I guess I gotta put on my freaking hat. Oh crap, I look like a hot mess right now, you guys. Okay. Nah. No, he had the cutest little kitten. It was like this big, and I saw it on a towel, and I thought it was one of those, those foxtail things, but it was actually a little tiny kitten, and it's only 7 weeks old. So cute. I mean, I look at that and I thought to myself, the first thing I thought was Oreo used to be that tiny, and now Oreo is just, well, Oreo's Oreo size. What can I say? He's a fat cat, but he's a very handsome cat. But Oreo used to be a very tiny little kitten. But I never even heard the story about how he got the cat. I wish I did. I thought it was maybe a stray. But no, 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 no. I'm that kind of person. Like, I don't want to be streaming to people that, obviously don't stream. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, hey, can I show you a stream of can I have a stream of the cat? Because that would make someone uncomfortable, because they would say, oh, crap, so the whole conversation was recorded. And yeah, so I got to be mindful about that stuff, right? Very, very important to be mindful about that stuff. Although I do YouTube, I'm not like, hey, everybody, look how cool I am. I want to show you, did it. I don't get that kind of stuff. Like, I actually am a lot more reserved. So that's why I don't like showing my face too much. Not because I'm insecure about my face, but I always think, like, I want my words to resonate more. And yeah, I was just like, I don't know anything about golf, and he's going off on golf. But it's okay, there were some real nuggets of truth in there. For instance, right, you got to practice either that or it won't be good. And yeah, so yeah, that was a nice conversation. It was interesting, and the cat was super cute. Yeah. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that cat was mighty cute. That cat was so tiny and such a lovely little thing. And I'm sure if Oreo was here, Oreo would be all like that. That's gonna be my next girlfriend, y'all. Because Oreo has no girlfriend right now. Blackberry doesn't want him, and I think 7 weeks is a little young for Oreo. But yeah, I think Oreo would like to have a little friend. I know. Oreo is a little, he's like he's a little hottie in my opinion. I think he's so cute. I think he's very handsome. But yeah, he needs to get more svelte. I was joking. I said maybe Oreo needs to go on an exercise plan, and that way he becomes, and so instead of Oreo the tubby cat, he becomes Oreo the fit svelte cat that gets all the female cats. But there's only one female cat, unfortunately, and that's Blackberry. And she doesn't want Clinton, and she also doesn't want Oreo. So it's like a lose-lose situation for both of the guys. Yeah, Blackberry does not want to have any relations with Clinton, and she also does not want any relations with Oreo. And I can't understand it, because I figure, well, even if you don't want Oreo, I mean, wouldn't you go for the buck Clinton? But no, Clinton's an asshole. So I think that's why she doesn't want him. Yeah. Oreo, yeah, if you listen to him, he does these cries, like Lewis does stream, and kind of thing. It sounds like we didn't feed him, but always notice you only hear one cat crying for food, and coincidentally it happens to be the fattest cat. So if it's the fattest cat, and you don't hear Clinton is bigger than Oreo, okay? But weirdly enough, it seems like Clinton eats less food than Oreo. Why is that? Maybe because Oreo's just a secret fatty, Well, he's not a secret fatty. Everybody knows he's a fat cat, but yeah, he's such a drama queen. Like, he acts like we didn't feed him all day, and Clinton has zero problems with the food portion, but Oreo always acts like he doesn't get fed enough. And he coincidentally happens to be the first one and the last one at the food bowl. And he still thinks he doesn't get enough food. No, that was me. Yeah, so. But yeah, I mean, like, I think I look kind of yummy. So that's all I wanted to say about it, kind of thing. But I gotta like take my time out there. But yeah, I think he's just really sociable. That's all. So all that stuff, right? I just woke up. I did an HD at 15. So. Ooh, good job. Good job. That sounds impressive. That sounds very impressive. I've never did a hard disk drive swap. Um, but yeah, good on you. So yeah, I wanna. So yeah, that's my goals. I want to be be better moving forward. And I did a community post where I shared that J Lo, for instance, she has a picture of her with like this crop top, and she's like 45 years old. And I thought, man, I wanna have that kind of body, when I'm 45. And she has a good 12 years over me, and I want that, you know. So that's my inspiration, and that's my goal. Okay, yeah. So going back to what I was saying, the Backstreet Boys stuff, because I think I got distracted somewhere. But yeah, so like Backstreet Boys, right? They used to make all these songs talking about things like, all I have to give, and it's just like more emotional stuff, right? And I think that's why it's such a classic. And now I listen to music now, and it's like, WAP, crappy, very in-depth lyrics like yummy, 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 yummy. It's just like, oh. Or they talk about, tits and ass, and I'm just like, oh. Like, oh my gosh. I just miss like when lyrics actually seem to have more depth, and these songs are actually on mainstream radio, right? Not like shake your tail feather kind of thing. It's like, so yeah. So while I was listening to the Backstreet Boys song, I thought, man, this sounds. I know this would go against some advice, because some dating experts would say, you don't want to be that kind of guy. You don't want to be the soft, sensitive guy. You want to be the guy where it's like, bang bang on my chest. I'm a leader, and yeah, you women, you're gonna, you got to keep your weight under control, because if you're not, you're not gonna get married. No one's gonna want you, that kind of stuff. And I think it's like, I understand the mindset behind it. I really do. I think that if you are a person where you're like a Leonardo DiCaprio, then yeah, you're not gonna, or someone like that high, you're not gonna deal with like women who are perceived to be as subpar. You won't see Leonardo DiCaprio with a woman who's like 200 pounds. He always goes for models, and he always like dumps them after they turn 25 or so, right? I don't think any of his girlfriends ever reached age 25. He always dumps them before then. So that kind of stuff, right? And Leonardo DiCaprio lives the life that he wants. He has the funds that if anything happens to him, he can get a nurse, or he can have, the best care home ever, right? When hopefully he turns 80, 90 years old. But a lot of people, they don't have that, right? So I feel like some of these things that are being said, it's like if you just look for a person solely on their physical attributes, or if you just say, hey, I don't even want to talk to a person if they're, a 6. I only want to talk to people who are what I perceive to be 8 and up, the perfect package kind of thing, then you can really be doing yourself a disservice, because there's a lot of women who are not an 8 out of 10 physically, but they're 8 out of 10 in terms of their character. I've known some women in my life where they have really, really great personalities. They're really good people, but they're not going to be on the cover of a magazine. Their booty is not on point. Their tits are not on point. And some of these women, they end up having a lot of depression, because they kind of ask themselves, they say like, oh, I'm trying to get into the dating scene, but I can't find a guy who's really interested in me. Or if he is interested in me, it's like the guy doesn't really stay around for whatever reason. I'm not around when these dates happen, so I can't tell you the reason why, but I know that there seems to be this whole perception that if you can upgrade a woman, and even if she's a nice woman, if she is, not so hot in the looks department, like, feel free to dump her ass just so you can get an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10, and you deserve it because you're a male. Like, that kind of thing I think is kind of fucked up. So yeah, you see that stuff? And I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy as well, because I've shared with you guys, right? These guys the guys that like look for these really hot women on the, they're rejecting women that I find to be cute, that I find to be attractive. And they're like, oh no, she's not hot enough. She's not hot enough. And then these guys are like mediocre. And when they get rejected, they ask themselves, oh, how come I'm getting rejected? Oh, it's not me. It has to be the women. It has to be the women because women are bitches. They're stuck up. They only want rich guys. Oh, yeah, I don't like women because women are gold diggers, right? But there could be women right in front of them, but they just don't pay attention to them because they're not hot enough. See? But yeah, so I've had discussions with some guys that I know, and I wonder, I'm like, I really don't understand. But then keep in mind, right, the way I judge women, I guess I'm very, I don't judge them solely based on, a weight issue or anything like that. I'm like, okay, she has a couple pounds on her, no big deal, right? You can lose the weight, but you can't change a person's character so easily. You can't change their mindset so easily. So that's why I don't put this heavy focus on body. Because like me, right? Anybody could work out, anybody can have a better body, but it's a lot harder. And I think it's like, I've shared this with you guys, right? I've known women where they have really great bodies, but they have shit personalities, and they have this whole like shit mindset because they're like, oh, I'm so attractive. All the guys are going to be lusting after me, and I'm hot. So, that's all I have to do. I just got to be hot. And guys are going to be goo goo gaga over me because I'm hot. And I can treat guys like dirt because I'm hot. And guys are going to deal with it because I'm hot, that kind of stuff. And then some guys, here's the thing, some guys actually put up with that shit because they're like, oh, she's so hot. Oh, she's really hot. She can get a guy. Like, it really pisses me off because I've known guys in that situation too, where they meet a chick and she's hot and they just kind of like, how would I say it? Like, they will, they won't, they'll deal with a lot of stuff. And it's like the woman, she like holds the power, she'll say terrible things to the guy, making the guy feel insecure, and then he'll just stay around because he just thinks, well, she's hot, so I gotta stay around because she's really hot, and if I don't stay with her, some other guy will take her because she's hot, and I know guys check her out because she's hot, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with that, so I did a lot of soul searching and things like that, and I was listening to Backstreet Boys music yesterday. I was thinking like, man, I wish, I wonder what happened, because it's like people grew up hearing that kind of music, All I Have to Give, I'll Never Break Your Heart, that kind of stuff. Not just little girls, little boys too.
At the museum.
And they just, they stopped. They just kind of deviated from that. And then I came across, right, while I was listening to this whole little thing on the YouTube side suggestion feeds, I came across a song from Prince. And it's called The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. And I noticed that when I encourage you guys to look at the music video. He has video and pictures of women of all different ages, all different sizes, all different colors. And I was thinking to myself, I thought, you know what, that's a really beautiful video, because I think nowadays women are conditioned to think that if they don't have the perfect body, then they're not beautiful. If they don't look like their fitness model, then they're trash, they're worthless. You know, if they're not young, if they're, you know, they're not young and they don't look like one of those like Ashley Madison kind of models, then they're, you know, they might as well just disappear. But that's not the case. You know, there is always going to be a subset of males who talk about how important looks are and things like that. But here's the thing. You can want an 8 out of 10. You can want a 9 out of 10. But are you yourself a 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, right? And the reality is that when I think about it, a lot of these guys are not. Or, you know, they get ahead of themselves. Or they say, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm a male and I deserve to have hot women because I'm a male. And it's like, it's so destructive because women live on this planet too, right? And if you are a certain way to women, women get hurt, and then women can retract. And then when women don't want to go into the dating scene, it's like, okay, you got all these males spitting game, like they only want the 8 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s, but if there's no females, then what happens? Then males ultimately get hurt too. So I can see it as like a bigger picture kind of thing. You guys get what I'm saying? So I would say, you know, if you're one of those people who are like, I only want to be with like the freaking supermodel, I want to only be with the creme de la creme of women, check yourself. Really check yourself. Ask yourself, would the top 10 women spend their time on you? And chances are, you know, that question won't be answered. It would be all like, okay, well, they're not going to spend their time with me now, but just you wait. I'm going to have all these women around me, but I'm going to act like I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, like I'm a big shot. And there was a guy in Hawaii who encompasses so much, you guys. And yeah, that was, I spoke to him like about 10 years ago, and he still lives this life, like he's still acting like he's a big shot, but he's a freaking nobody. He's a laughing stock. How much of a laughing stock? Like, various people know him, and the common theme behind the people that know him is that they don't respect him because of how he is. But he acts like he's, you know, he's basically God's gift to the world, and women should bow down to him because he is, you know, he is him kind of thing. Is that the guy who would introduce? Yeah, that's the guy. That is the guy. Oh my gosh, like he would be all like, this is networking kind of thing. And oh man, this is the guy. And I know that if someone listens to this from Hawaii, they're gonna know who I'm talking about. They could possibly know who I'm talking about. They're like, how dare you, Erica? How dare you insult him? He is a big deal. Like, fuck that. Okay, so this is the guy where he would try and show off like his $400 watch to people, like, hey, look, I got this $400 watch, and you know, trying to like brag to not just women, to men too, right? So I think it was at a club, and this is before I dated my ex, and my ex had a long sleeve shirt on. And you couldn't really tell his watch. I don't know why, but and now that I think about it, I'm like, how can we get another shirt? But yeah, so this joke of a male, I don't even want to call this guy a man, okay? I'm going to call him a joke of a male. This joke of a male goes around in the club trying to show off this $400 watch. Now, mind you, this guy's older than me, okay? So he goes off on the club trying to show off his $400 watch to people, men and women, trying to show off that, you know, he's a god. And my ex said he remembered it distinctively because he was trying to show off this watch, and my ex actually had like a Rolex underneath his shirt. But yeah, I wasn't seeing it. He was basically like, fuck that guy. And I was like, oh shit, you know him? And he was like, of course I know America. He's a joke. So yeah, and then I told him, and he was like, oh my gosh, Erica. And I was like, yeah. So it seems like people know who he is, but the common theme is like they don't really respect him. And yeah. And this guy is such a fake fuck. Let me tell you this, okay? So he will, like, if he sees someone, he'll smile right in their face and be like, "Oh, how are you?" Right, that kind of thing. And then once you turn away, they'll just drop their face. Like if you're like really happy and you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you," and then once they don't see you anymore, it's like their expression just instantly drops. And I didn't notice this, but one of my friends who were near me said, "Holy crap!"
I like your hat.
Oh, thank you. One of my friends told me this, and I was just like, "Oh, gosh, what a fake fuck." So, yeah. Let's see over here. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, oh man, no, it's not even a good hat. It's like a freaking. It's okay. It's like a hat, but I like it because it protects my neck and it protects my face. So I don't want to be walking around for an hour and then have sunburn galore, right? So that's my thinking about it. Yeah. So that's how that's why I think about it, right? You got to be very mindful about how you come off to people, how you treat people, because it's like if you lead with this stupid shit, it's like you might think you're really cool or you're trying to be all like, "Look at me, I have a $400 watch, I have a $500 Gucci belt." But yeah, people can see them and be like, "What a fucking joke," right? So don't be like this guy. I want to call him Xerxes because he was like he used to say that
I don't know. It's a little.
he used to say that people used to treat him like a god. And he used to complain about how people didn't care about him, and he would just be this like freaking stuck up asshole. And yeah, I know, just me saying that, someone's gonna listen from Hawaii and be like, how dare you insult America, he's a bigger deal than you'll ever be. It's like, yeah, whatever, whatever, whatever kind of thing. And yeah, it's just, maybe he had an awakening, maybe his personality changed, who knows, but I haven't spoken to him in about 10 years, so who knows, but maybe he had a Mother Teresa moment, right? I mean, he could be very good and be all like, "Oh, people could be like, oh, he's such a nice, caring, amazing person." I'm like, well, are you a person of worth? Because if you are a person of worth, he'll probably kiss your ass. But if he perceives that you're beneath him, he'll be like, "Fuck you, I'm better than you, you're a mere peasant. And I'm a god. I'm Xerxes, bitch." That kind of thing. How dare. Yeah, so yeah, I know. I'm just gonna call him Xerxes, but he was not nearly as tall as Xerxes, okay? So anybody who thinks this guy was like 6'5", no, he was like he was significantly shorter than that. But man, his ego was like it was 6'5". His ego was like 6'5". Like if I had to describe him to someone, I would say he saw himself as Xerxes, chiseled from marble and gold. He was among mere mortals who were beneath him because he was a god, and he treated everyone like shit because we should have been honored that he graced this world with his presence. I mean, his head was so stuck up his ass. I mean, like, you could probably yeah, his head was so stuck up his ass. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't effeminate, but I mean, he had this whole thing like, how Xerxes has this. Xerxes interacts with Leonidas, and he like talks down upon him, and when like Xerxes goes down the steps and his foot soldiers, they rush to kneel, bend over so he can use their backs as stairs. Yeah, this describes that guy. Like if he could, he would love to do that, but there was no one who really respected him except people who were also, fame whores and that kind of stuff. So he would have an invisible cloud of servants unless they were unless they believe that he was a mover or shaker and they could use him to get to a position that they want to. You see those people? You know, the people who was like, you know, I rub elbows with powerful people, that kind of stuff. He was a really big ass kisser. I'll give him that. But in terms of respect, I think a lot of people didn't respect him. Maybe he changed, you know, maybe he changed. But yeah, all I know is if I saw him, I would just have like zero respect for this guy. I'd probably think in my head like, oh look, there's Xerxes. There's Xerxes on the street. Hold up, move away, people, clear the way. Your god is walking down the street. Yeah, so I look back at that guy and I just kind of laugh. But yeah, and I see, like, I saw a picture of him like a while back. This was years ago. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, he's still a joke. He's still a joke. He's still a joke. But yeah, I gotta watch it I gotta watch what I say, because maybe the Xerxes henchman, the invisible henchman, is gonna be like, you know, like, hear this. But I doubt it. You know, I'm a small fry. I'm not nearly as influential as Xerxes, so. Yeah, Xerxes doesn't have a YouTube channel, in case you're wondering. He doesn't have a big social media following. If he did, it would probably be comedy. Oh man, I shouldn't say that. I'm just, people are gonna be like, oh, Erica, you're so mean. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think you know, I just kind of think, you know what? I hope he changed, but if he didn't change, he's still gonna be Xerxes, in my opinion. Oh yeah, I know. Oreo definitely kicks me in terms of influencers. He's a very handsome cat, a very popular cat too. So overall, yeah. So yeah, what was I saying? So about I forgot. I got lost out of track so much. But yeah, freaking Xerxes, one of those freaking jokes. And yeah, just one of those characters in life, like, unless you came across a person like that, you wouldn't believe they existed. The sense of entitlement was just very strong. It was, yeah, very, very, very strong. But, you know, deep down inside, in my unbiased opinion, looking back, Xerxes had a lot of depression. He had a lot of insecurity, and he felt the only way that he could one-up people was by telling, you know, by signaling to people about all the expensive stuff he had. But you know what the truth is? That's what I say. Like, you gotta know your worth. You know, you can get expensive stuff to compliment you, but you don't lead with your freaking expensive stuff. Like, don't lead with your expensive watch. Don't lead with your expensive shoes. Because at the end of the day, people are gonna remember how you treated them. They're not going to remember all you know, and if you try to do the whole Xerxes approach with like, look at my expensive watch, you guys. I mean, I know he said it a lot more better than I did. I'm just making fun of him. But, yeah, if you do that kind of stuff, like, you don't make people, you know, feel insecure about themselves. You just look like a joke. And I stand by that statement. So that's what I've always said, right? Work on character, work on yourself, work on your insecurities. If you're insecure about your body, then freaking exercise, which is what I'm trying to do. Get your nutrition on point, and that's how you become a more confident person in the future. And if anybody, you know, if you hear criticisms from people, or if you have some haters, you got to ask yourself, you know, you got to do a full round assessment of them. You know, are they people that you really look up to? Or are they just a bunch of haters, right? And there's a key difference here, right? I find that there are people who are very depressed, and when they're depressed, instead of keeping things in, like for me, my whole thing is that when I'm depressed, I tend to keep a lot of stuff in. It doesn't seem like it, but I actually, like, if I don't feel comfortable opening up, I'll just keep it in, and that's not healthy. And I find that some people, instead of keeping things in, what they'll do is they'll lash out at other people, right? They're hurting. Let's say if someone's insecure about their weight, they might be the person who goes and says, hey, like, oh, so and so, you're really, you're really flat, you know. Or if they're insecure about their position in life, they can just be hurling insults to other people, and those wounds can really hurt. Like I said, I'm proof of that. But what's important is to kind of just be mindful about the source that it's coming from. Because if you're hearing these words from a person who is depressed and hurt, and their only way of feeling superior is to insult you, then I think that's very telling, right? Xerxes thrived off of things like that. Xerxes liked to put people down and uplift himself. But I also knew Xerxes personally, so I knew the kind of person Xerxes was. And when I met Xerxes, it's like he always had this cloud of depression. And I tried to get him out of it, and I couldn't. You know why? Because Xerxes thought I was beneath him. That's the reality of it. So it's like Xerxes rather be alone than deal with people beneath him, you see? And it's sad. It's sad. Xerxes is obviously Xerxes was obviously very stuck up on himself, right? But he caused he had destruction within himself, but he also had destruction towards other people. And I think that seeing people hurt made him happy, because he thought, oh yeah, that, if he gauges a reaction from someone, then he's like, yeah, I am better than them. They don't have what I have. They don't have this $400 watch. Or, I don't know too many people who'd be insecure about a $400 watch, but like $400 is packing peanuts when it comes to something like a Rolex or, those other high-end watches. I'm not very good at recognizing watches. I know some guys are like super like, whoa, dark side of the moon kind of thing. I'm like, well, limited edition Snoopy Omega, Speedmaster. I'm like, what? So yeah. Yep. Yeah, let's see over here. Who wears watches? Yeah, I have a cell phone. I thought, here's the thing. Like, I actually think watches look nice, but you want to know a secret? I'm actually really bad with the idea of having a watch, because I have to read the watch as, what's it called? There's digital and there's analog, right? I forgot. But the one with the freaking hands? I'm not the fastest at recognizing that. And I've always thought to myself, shit, if I get like a watch that I gotta wind for myself and I gotta tell the time, it would actually cause me more stress than just whipping out my cell phone. So that's why I don't have a watch. But I do like the watch, the look of a luxury watch. I think it's pretty. I think it's refined. But there's upkeep behind it, right? And then I gotta worry. Let's say if I was walking around with a Rolex watch. Let's just give an example, right? I can't be walking around with a Rolex watch, like a $5,000 pre-owned watch, and not worry about me getting mugged. Because what if I get mugged? Then what? Then I lose my $5,000 watch. Right now, it's like the only thing I will lose if I got mugged would be my S8, my cracked S8 phone with packing tape on it. So no one's gonna steal that shit. That's for sure. See? Analog. Yeah. No, they do make Rolexes are winding watches. The idea behind that is that they'll last forever. You don't got to worry about battery, and you can pass it on, and it's just like those mechanisms. I know someone might be listening to my stuff and be like, oh, Erica, you got some things wrong. Okay, I'm not a watch person. I know some watches, but I don't know too much watches. Yeah. So I once dated a guy who was like pretty big into watches, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, some guys are like super into watches, and they have like their watch collection, and they like alternating their watches, and they take a lot of pride in their watches, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, I think a watch is a very polished kind of look. I personally think that. I think there's, but you have to not just have like the watch, you gotta have the other thing too. So imagine like this, right? If I was walking around with a freaking Rolex right now, that would look kind of weird, right? But if I had, let's say, high heels on, a cute like A-line skirt with a dress shirt, and my hair was done and things like that, then I would look like I would be able to match the Rolex. So you also have to think about, it's not just buying the luxury watch, it's also making sure the rest of you matches with that look. You don't go, unless you're like a rapper or something, you're not going to go and play basketball in the park with the freaking Rolex on your wrist, you know? Or with the freaking gym socks with the freaking slides. You know, the slippers, the ones that go like this? Yeah, and with your Rolex, like, no. No. So yeah, I'm not big on that kind of stuff. Yeah, forget the phone, protect the hat. Yeah, so I'm actually a big fan of this hat. So let me take off this hat really quickly. Hold up, hold up, hold up. So this hat, it has this little sun part over here. Oops. It has this sun part over here. And I like it because it protects my neck and it protects my shoulders a little bit. And it also protects my face. So yeah, that's my hat. Sundays afternoon. I had it lying around. And I'm pretty damn sure this was probably picked up at a yard sale or something. But yeah, I like it. Throw it in the washing machine, you're good. So yeah, but I like that hat because I don't have to worry about having to have sunburn on my neck and shoulders. So yeah, when I run, when I walk, I like to have all that kind of stuff for sure. Yeah, it is comfy. It has a little strap too, but I like it again because it's easy, right? I could just throw it in the washing machine. If it got wet, I could just air dry it, and it's light, so I just walk around with my sunglasses. You know, my sunglasses. Look at that. Oh, I got freaking the freaking coating got all scratched off. Oh, I hate it. See that? It looks okay over here, but the freaking inside. Oh. So if you guys have any suggestions what I could do about the coating besides throw it away, let me know. But yeah, I love these sunglasses. They were from Costco. They're like a Kirkland brand one. And see, these are like my favorite sunglasses. See that? And this is what my sunglasses are. See that? But yeah, I think they were like 25 bucks. But yeah, I kind of wonder, like, is there any way that like I could go over to is there any way that I could go over and go to get this thing redone? Like, just say like, can you put the freaking coating back on, and that way it doesn't look like shit when I look down at it? Because it's such a waste, right? Like, or better yet, I wouldn't mind just throwing away the lenses and then getting, keeping the frames. But if I have to throw away the whole piece, it's kind of sad. See, I think it's kind of sad because it's like, I don't mind replacing the lenses, but I just don't want to throw away the whole freaking piece. What can I say about that? Yeah. So anyway, I think I am done walking for now, and I got quite a bit of workout in ish. Wasn't the fastest pace, but yeah, see, I'm trying to tone myself up over there. I'm trying to just burn some calories, and yeah, I don't know what I could do about it. I wish I could just put some kind of coating on it and just call it a day, but oh well. So I gotta go and get some mouthwash, and then go back, and then yeah, so I've been trying to I don't know. Yeah, right to a pair for sunglasses too. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just, I just kind of figure like if I'm streaming, it's much better if I just walk around and I talk rather than just sit stationary behind on a stool for like a couple hours, right? Because that's what I've been doing. And like I said, there's a better way to do things. I guess the alternative would be getting one of those walking treadmills and then walking treadmill while I'm doing a stream, like if I'm in front of my computer with OBS. But until that happens, you're gonna just see this freaking stream where you see my legs going like so yeah. I'm really excited. I am really excited about the future, and I feel really hopeful about things. And the whole idea behind that is, and I mentioned this before, right? But I have a good feeling that as as my body becomes nicer, and this is really uncharted territory, right? The level of fitness I want is really uncharted territory for me, but I have a good feeling, a speculation, that as my body becomes nicer, as I start wearing clothes that really complement my figure more, right? I want to have like bigger arms, a bigger ass, that kind of stuff. I can't do anything about the chest, right? Like I can try to increase the chest muscles, but in terms of like cleavage to push up, there ain't gonna be much there. And that's okay, I'm a petite chick, so it's not really unusual to think, well, if you're petite, then you're gonna have a petite chest too. Some chicks are more petite than others, and I happen to be on the more petite side. But I won't be surprised if in the future, and I'm not going to get ahead of myself here, but I really do believe that if my level of fitness does increase and my body does change substantially, and I do start changing clothes, right? I won't be surprised if people start thinking like, oh, Erica's so shallow, she's so vain, she's only doing this stuff because she wants attention from people. But the reality is that I want to look good for myself. I want to look back when I'm an old woman and say, I took control of my life. I was tired of always being the stick. I was tired of always being the one who got picked fun of because, I have nothing kind of thing. And again, some people will look at my body and say, Erica, you being 5'4", you being like 120 pounds, you being a size 2/4, having like what was it? I think my measurements are like 30.5, 27, 37. So my waist is a 27. That's a good body, but it's like, at the end of the day, right? It's a body that I'm blessed to have because I watch what I eat and I try to, always keep things under control, but I don't want to just be living life feeling like I just kind of mediocred it by, you see? And that's what it comes down to. I want to live a life where I just look back and I say, I'm really proud of my level of fitness. I'm really proud of what I was able to achieve. And I'm not going to use my looks to be, one of those people. It's like, oh, you are beneath me because, you're not as fit as me or anything like that. Because everybody has to start from somewhere, right? We all have to start from somewhere. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger was not born super buff. He had to work his way up. But I think the thing that people are conditioned to think is that if a woman looks really good, if she's really fit, then she's probably a stuck-up bitch. And I won't be surprised, I won't be surprised if people start thinking that about me, or they start thinking like, oh, she's so shallow. Oh, look, she really looks like she wants to be a gold digger now. Oh, look at this chick. Oh, she thinks she's all big and things like that, but she's not. It's like all those words I expected to come on. Or, right, I'll also have people who say like, oh yeah, you've been working out, Erica, but you know what? It's not enough. It's still not enough. You don't have a great butt still. You've been putting the work in, Erica, but yeah, your ass you still have nothing. But it's gonna ring differently on me if I know that I'm working on myself. So if someone says, you still have a flat ass, and just kind of, like pull me down, but I know enough about them because they're pulling me down, but then they're uplifting themselves at the same time, I'm just going to let it slide. I'm not going to let it affect me much because I know the reality is that I'm trying. See? So I share this stuff with you guys because I want all of you guys to live a life where you feel like whatever insecurity you had, you tackled it. And it's not going to be perfect. Not everybody gets the body that they want, but I think with persistence and time, you can get pretty damn close, or you can get closer. And getting closer is better than not doing anything at all. So, yeah, that's why I'm really excited about things. I'm not, yeah, like this is going to take a while. It's not going to be like 2 weeks and I'm going to have a banging body. This might be 2 years. This could be 3 years or so. But I'm very optimistic that I can get it done. I just need to put the work in, put the effort in, and not give up. Not give up. So you guys who are listening to this stuff, right? I don't want you guys just watching my streams and be like, oh, look, Erica's improving her life. I want you guys to improve your life as well. Whatever it is, right? Even if it's not exercise, if you feel like you've been lacking on something, work on it, right? Let's say you want to do, learn how to make pottery, or, learn how to use power tools or fix a car. Like, work on that, right? Don't live a life where your insecurities control you and paralyze your mind. Yeah. No, you know what the thing is? I would, but here's the difference. I recognize my insecurities, and it's not like I'm beating myself down. The difference is that I want to have a nice body, I want to just take control of the situation rather than being the kind of like the laughing stock, the little string bean that people make fun of, that people pick on. And right now, it's like, yeah, I look back at it, it's like, what did I do? With my 20s and 30s, I just heard these things and I let it get to me, and I did inaction. And by doing inaction, it reinforces that, yeah, Erica will always be a string bean. Erica will always have a mediocre body. Erica will always, that kind of stuff. And these words don't stop unless I do something about it. So, yeah. So I've had some conversations and telling people like, hey, this is my goal. And something's very interesting here. Okay, you want to know what's interesting? So the people that I tell these things to, and I say, yeah, this is my little goal for myself, and it's different, because I'm not doing this just out of insecurity. I'm doing this because I see hope on the other side, right? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired is what it comes down to. And that's motivated me to face my insecurities, and I feel a little bit more stronger, right? I don't feel strong going through it, but I feel stronger facing it. And then it's like, the more I see this thing, I think, hey, you know what? I have an insecurity, I worked at it, and I'm moving forward. And I'm still a little insecure, but at least I know I'm moving forward. That's the difference. See? So, yeah. Nah, you know what? You don't have to say one day I'll get there and do things. Just do it. I know that sounds so cliche, like the Nike slogan, just do it. But it's true. Time is ticking by, right? You don't want to do something, like if I don't want to like lift up this pizza box, no one's going to do this shit, right? It just stays there. Now, I know someone's going to lift it up, but still, you guys get what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't put the work in, don't expect anything to change, because people cannot work on your body if you don't work on your body yourself. And the same thing goes on with other aspects on life, right? You want to become better at cooking, then you got to start cooking. You can wish and dream and cast all kind of magical spells, and, that doesn't solve anything. You got to actually put the work in. So yeah, I'm actually pretty confident that I am going to get results. I know I'm going to get results. Now, if it's the results that I can, I want for myself, I envision for myself, that I don't know. That I don't know, because like I mentioned earlier, right? I think that would have to be training, that would have to be nutrition, and I don't have enough background knowledge to be able to say, okay, this is what I should do. This will get me results for sure. This is how much I should be eating. This is what I should be doing exactly, because I don't have a personal trainer. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, possible struggle. And that's okay. I accept it. I accept it. Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? If you don't want anything bad enough, then things aren't going to change. And I'd rather live a life where I said I constantly failed at stuff and I tried rather than I didn't try at all. Because if you don't try, you become basically fish food for people who tear you down. It's true. It's true. Like, imagine if someone is like 100 pounds overweight and then, you know, people make fun of them and they say, hey, look, it's that fat fuck over there kind of thing, right? Like, people will always make those kind of statements about you. And as much as people would say it doesn't hurt, it does hurt, okay? Because I'm like I said, I'm 5'4", I'm 120 pounds. And you know, I have my insecurities. And people would probably say, that's crazy, Erica, but I hear comments. And so, you know, when I hear about people making fun of fat people, it's like, shit, you know? Like, I know that shit hurts just because like, I know words hurt me as well. And that's why. So if you're overweight, the comments will never stop unless you change. That's how you take control of the situation. And when you change, right, you break your negative habits, and then, like, let's say you feel bad about yourself because you're 100 pounds overweight, right? You break your negative habits, and then you start seeing positive change, and then you think, you know what? I don't want to be a fat fuck anymore. I want to live a better life. I want to be more fit. I want to live a life that I actually want to live versus just existing. And that's the difference. So I'm going through life because I don't want to exist anymore. I actually want to live and I want to thrive. And I want to take control of things. I don't want to just let freaking insecurities and like negative talk and negative comments beat me down. See? So that's it. Okay, you guys, I gotta get going. And yeah. I mean, you can ignore it, but if you're working on yourself, then it becomes easier, right? And I recognize that I need to do that for myself. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you. Oh my gosh, my phone is at like freaking 5% right now. So hold on. Let's see here. Yeah, I shall see you. Oh, and by the way, if anyone hates you because you're a ginger, fuck them, seriously. They're not, you know what? They're not gingers because they're not unique enough. I really hate it when people pick on people's like hair color. It's like, look, there's a sea of brown hair, black hair, blonde hair, gray hair. There's not enough redheads out there. People pay money to dye their hair red too. Don't forget that. And it could be a lot of money. See ya.